Police at your door. Bailiffs demanding entry. A legal threat lands without warning. In that moment, who's actually on your side? This is Willoughby Genius Mark II, a legal protection platform that acts like your own personal legal team. Built on over 750,000 verified legal entries, spanning 50+ countries, it delivers immediate, actionable guidance when it matters most. No appointments, no gatekeepers, no £300 an hour delays, just clear, lawful direction in real time. It doesn't replace the law, it gives you direct access to it. Powered by advanced AI, Willoughby Genius Mark II verifies, prompts, and protects. Calmly, precisely, and without bias. It never forgets a statute, it never panics, and it's always available. Legal technology is moving fast. Those who understand it early will have choices. Those who don't will be managed by it. Willoughby Genius Mark II goes further than any barrister. It educates too. Know your rights, act decisively, take back control. Click on the link below and use LSB Pro for £5 off your first month's premium.
Hello and welcome to another LSB Film podcast with me, Chris Brooks. I hope everyone's well. So today's guest is Istvan and Joshua, and today's conversation will be talking about Lana, a project that the creators describe as a new way of thinking about money, value and exchange, blending spiritual ideas with economic concepts. This discussion looks at whether money can move like energy in nature rather than trapped within a system of scarcity, control and fear. We get into the origins of Lana, their philosophy behind it, and how its founders believe it could create a more balanced and an abundant way forward. So, Esteban and Joshua, welcome to the show.
Are you concerned about all this corruption being rebranded as conspiracy theory? Well, don't you worry. Sit back and relax and join in the conversation with today's guest. Welcome to another LSB Film Productions podcast with your host, Chris Brooks.
So yes, I'm very intrigued and excited to find out what it is that you've got to tell us all. Welcome to the show, both of you. It's great to have you here. So who would like to go first then?
So, Istvan, I suggest that you make a beautiful intro. Last time I hear you and you are just awesome.
Okay, cool. All right. Hello. Hello, guys. And we are here to talk a little bit about Lana, the registered Lana word, and what we're doing, why we're doing, and how we're approaching this new financial or economic idea that we've been developing and talking and thinking for the last decade, let's say, or even more, and trying different methods. But eventually we started to do seriously some things in the last year where we get all the jigsaw puzzles, let's say, on board. So we started to put the things together, and things getting really exciting, and it's getting really moving on. And from that perspective, it's really good to be part of it, and good to share things because more people get excited about it, get curious about it, and this is why we are also here, and to go a little bit more into depth and not even depth, it's just general to explore what we're doing and what is the main purpose. I mean, for me, it's really this new play with money, with exchange, because as one of my mentors said, it's like, we all know that money is an exchange of value, and giving value is really the key here. And if that value remains and circulates in the system, then we have a good a system that is basically, it's much more sustainable, suitable, and flows to everyone, for all of us. So that's what we're playing it out, and see where it goes. What do you think? Would you like to add anything on that, Josh?
Yes, actually, thank you. So let's put a little bit at the beginning a spiritual perspective to that. So observe yourself how you breathe air. Do you think about breathing air? You just breathe air, but you cannot survive without air, not even for a few minutes. Now just observe your thoughts about money. We all think about money almost every day, like, what we are doing, how we are going to earn, all that stuff. So a lot of thoughts around the money, But
having enough or not, that's probably for most of us is will I have enough for this and that? Yes.
How to manifest it.
Yeah, exactly. But now observe that without money, I believe everyone can survive at least 1 week. Without air, you cannot survive, not even for a few minutes. So you think about money all the time. You don't think about air, but air is more important for you from that perspective. So what is that? What is so much not aligned with money, how we exchange money, and what we can take from nature and learn from nature and put it into the new financial system that will feel light as right now feels light breathing air. That is actually what we are doing, like, from this more spiritual perspective, if I just put that together.
Okay. And what is the name of the concept?
Lana.
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 Okay. And so what is the concept of this? Because
Okay.
I'm still not getting that.
Yeah, of course. Look, first of all, we say, okay, if we want to experience money in abundance, then of course we all should have a lot of money. You cannot have no money and then pretend everything's going to be fine. It's not.
You fake it till you make it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we simply have to have money in order to do that. So, and then we went into observing, for example, how the mitosis works. Mitosis, when cells start to divide, and then from one cell, after 20 to 40 splits, what happens? It happens then body grows from one cell to 30 trillion cells, and then we find out, wow, that's very interesting, because imagine that just from one cell in 15 years, a human body on 30 trillion cells. That is like from €1 to 30 trillion euros, or from 1 Great British pound to 30 trillion Great British pound. I mean, amazing exponential growth. So we saw that actually that exponential growth is actually completely normal thing in the nature. So what to do and how to set up the economy or the financial system that would sustain that growth. Because if that would grow that crazy, that literally means we should all end up with a lot of money, in the pocket, So how to organize that? So what we did is we organized the agreed splitting in this cryptocurrency. So we started at split 1, when first time the price was divided. Now we are at split 4. We are stepping into the split 5. Price already has grown for almost 1,000% in this period of time. And this period of time is 6 months. It's not more. It's growing like crazy. And the price is very stable. Because that's important thing. If you don't have stable price when you grow, then everything collapses. So we find a way how we do that. And the funny thing is that allowance. So you can step into that. Let's call it in a new financial vehicle, but it's limited for everyone. So the maximum amount you can step in is 100 Great British pounds. That's it. So even if you have 1 million pounds, you cannot go with 1 million pounds. Everyone has a slot of 100. And then you leave it. So very small seat, and then you leave it. And this is where these absurd ideas are coming into the place. Because as I told you at the beginning, if the idea is not absurd enough at the beginning, then there is no hope for it. And that is a beautiful statement from Albert Einstein, and I love it. So our crazy idea is how everyone is going to come from 100 Great British pound up to 100 million Great British pounds. Insanely a lot of money, how that could grow. So this is the core idea. So everyone steps with that inside. Then these splits start to divide, and then that is the first part of the growth. But now I'm going to give Istvan or maybe you some word, and then we are going to come back because I know you are going to come. Is that a new Ponzi scheme?
Well, before we even go that far,
yeah.
Obviously, because I don't know how much you follow my channel, but there's quite a lot of things where I talk about where the world is run on credit and debit, and that money in of itself doesn't actually really exist. They're just digits on the screen. So I just wondered what money you're referring to.
Yeah. So look, we are having fiat currency right now, and I will tell you very honest. I'm a very spiritual guy, and I have been fighting with the money for almost 5 years. I was so in the fight with the money that I didn't even touch it, for 5 years. I didn't have my own personal car for 10 years. My wife pleased me. Please touch the money back. So, but before that, I started 4 multi-million euros worth companies, and I was always in the financial market. But then something happens, and then you go crazy a little bit. Yeah. So I was very much in the fight. Now, what we are doing, how I see this thing, is not about excluding things and saying, yeah, this fiat currency is bad, this money is bad. No. We have to find balanced way how to make it that money in the future, that fiat currency in the future will exist even furthermore, because there are a lot of benefits that are good, but they are not balanced. So how to do it, how to organize that with that, what we are building, putting that together and making like, bicycle where you have left side and right side. So there's a fiat currency, let's say that is left side, and then that what we are building is right side. And all together create a balance. So it's not excluding fiat. Yes, money is a complete illusion. Everything is illusion. So we should not pretend that this is not illusion. Even that what we are building is an illusion.
Yes.
That's how it works, That is the illusion. So now how to make this illusion that will deliver us a nice, light experience, balanced experience. It's all about that. It's about the experience of the money. It's not about good or bad things. Just how to make the light experience.
Okay.
And that comes back to basically the point what I said at the beginning is the exchange of value. So that's what money is, and we all adding value. We all having value. In fact, it's like I have this recognition within myself that as we've been born into this reality, we all have all the value, and we give away that value. And exchanging it through fiat currency in a way that it's basically is not serving us. And here again is like what Joshua said beautifully, is like this is like a counterbalancing. What Lana does is counterbalancing the existing fiat currency into a way that it becomes more harmonized and more retaining that value what we all have within ourselves as just being here on this planet Earth and doing things. And that's the beautiful thing about it, and allowing us to be really great and through that, and not falling into the idea of the illusion that is money is limited and money doesn't serve us and all that stuff.
I think our money would serve us better if when we earned it, the tax man didn't nick most of it back. That's part of the biggest problem.
That's exactly how I see it also. It's not about taxation, because we all contributing, but if that tax is actually, we will be able to see it where it goes and how it flows, then we would be more than happy, because we are all givers, from our heart. It's just when we don't see where it goes, and we have a feeling that it goes maybe, supporting
when
things
it's going somewhere it shouldn't.
Well, exactly.
Lots of that going on. So whose idea was this concept?
Okay, it started like in 2016 from Jure, who started Lana crypto coin here in Slovenia. there's only around 70 crypto coins all over the world. There's a lot of tokens, but cryptocurrencies, they are just very limited. And one of these is Lana. They started with that, they have this idea, let's do a second Bitcoin, but not as a Bitcoin as a growth, but, what was the first intention of the Bitcoin, to really make an alternative cryptocurrency. And they have been doing that for almost 8 years. And then a guy whose name is Gasper stepped into that just 4 or 5 years ago. I know this Gasper very well because my first company that I started, it became also multi-million euros worth here in Slovenia. We have been partnered together. And then he contacted me, but he contacted me just first time before 5 years, and I said, okay, guys, I'm not into that. I'm not into the crypto. Forget on me, please. And then we talked just a year ago. And then I slowly drop all the fight against the money and then all these things. And then I say, okay, I'm willing to step in and see, because I like the energy of the people who have been inside. People are completely different. There are people who have a lot of money, and there are also people who have a lot of money, and there are also poor people. So there are all sorts of people here inside, but they really work together so nicely as a community. And that was, to me, okay, I love these people, And then we started, and we say, okay, let's first find out and put all this new perspective inside and start to build the infrastructure. And this is, from my side, this was my contribution. And then I immediately invited Istvan inside, because with Istvan we are all together like 10 years discussing all this money concept, despite the fact that we live in completely different countries, but we have been like 10 years non-stop discussing this issue. And then we started slowly with Istvan to put this together these ideas into the practice and developing the apps, because we have a huge infrastructure. It's not only talking, we have like more than 30 apps, you name it, huge infrastructure in just 1 year. I mean, we have everything, literally.
That's good going, isn't it?
Yeah.
For a year.
It's not like, promising something is going to happen. No. We have first the infrastructure, and then on top of that infrastructure, so you have to understand in the first place, and that goes probably usually to say for yourself, but I live right now an awesome life. I have a big farm on 30 hectares. I have not only one farm, I have literally 3 locations. I have camper, I have wife, I have awesome relationship, and I have more than enough everything that I don't need to work, how to do that in order to, this is, if I'm not going to do that, I don't know how I'm going to live. No. To me, that is just, let's do something completely different. And if it's works. Otherwise, we are going to find a way that is going to work, That's it. But this is for me more a game, more a play. It's not urgent. I have to. No, I don't need to. I have everything,
But you cannot really create anything great out of urgency. That's
of course. No, you can't.
No. Well, that's also the part of the manifestation kind of thing, isn't it?
Exactly.
When you're trying to do things out of desperation, all you get is desperation.
But you create more to desperate from.
Yeah.
Or yes.
Exactly.
But no, well, it's really interesting.
You can see also on our faces. I mean, you can watch Istvan, you can watch whatever I'm talking. We are all the time smiling because we are already fulfilled. And this is the seed. This is where it should all start. Sorry.
No, that's good. And also money, if we use the word money, it's frequency, isn't it? And everything's frequency based.
Sure, for sure.
And so it's about raising the frequency as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, because if you reject anything, then again, it's like you're lowering the frequency and rejecting money, rejecting or not having and all that, what we have and been programmed into our mind. And it's an interesting thing because I was talking like literally last week with one of my oldest daughter, she's 12, and how much her brain, despite the fact that I'm trying to get her into this new concept and that like money is flow and everything is around, but she's getting it now. But anyway, so when we had this discussion then, and I asked her about money and all these things and that we have within Lana, and we live it through that like like air. And she said, it's like, no, that's not how I know. It's like money is bad and the government is controlling, and like you cannot have it, and all that stuff. And I asked her, is like, just genuinely, curious. And I asked her, is like, where did you get this from? And she said, it's from my niece. Oh, and her niece is like 10 years old. I was like, okay, how do you know that she knows that? Well, she got it from her dad, most probably. It's
Well,
like,
this is the trouble. If you're in a family and that family was brought up in poverty, where
Yes.
money is scarce, then the child from the ages of 0 to 7 is being programmed, this is what life is. And so that's,
exactly.
and we are creators of our own reality. We are
Yeah,
divine. We create our own reality with our thoughts, which then become actions, which then become, unfortunately, I've got about 40 years of bad programming to undo before I can actually get to the point where I can start going, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it goes. One of my mentor, he says, Walter Russell, is a quote from him, is like, everybody is an extension of another body. And that's how it is. And it's so powerful, because when you start to see that, and it's exactly what happens with the children as well. So it's like, as we change, they will change. But like you said, it's the programming at the first 7 years of their life. It's so intense, and most of the basic program, it goes in. And it can take a lifetime to change that. But that's why we are here, and that's why we are for.
Well, that's really good. So how does this look like in the real world then? How does this currency, how do you use it? Do you use it as you would Bitcoin or PayPal or your normal bank account? How does it work?
Okay, Sean, you will take that, and then
Okay, I thought this you would, but it's anyway. So I can start. So in real life is so. Like we say, it's everything. It's added value. So even that £100 initial investment that anybody can make and contribute for this growth, and we choose that from the perspective of it's not too big, because nothing starts from big. In life is as the same. Is like everything. It starts small as a seed, and anybody can afford.
Well,
or most people can.
If you believe the Big Bang Theory, it all started from jack shit. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, so you can invest £100 into this game, and especially if you get the drive, get the spark of it, because you have to have a spark, otherwise we cannot force anybody, and we don't even need to force anybody. So that's one side, and so that's the first thing people can contribute to this new reality, to this game that we play. And that's added value already from the current financial system to stepping into investing into this new reality, right? So that's your first contribution, or people can contribute. But a bit above that, right now we're working on, and it's going to be available quite soon, a new type of exchange system where we're literally going to support people who's more on more on sustainability, more on giving, and really big aware of our planet as the cycle and how the cycle goes. And like Joshua said, with the example of breathing air, is you cannot hold the air, you have to exhale. And the same with the money, it's like you inhale, you have it, and you give it away. And that's also we have built into this split system what we have inside. So because if you hold on money, if you hold on air, it's like, again, you're going to kill yourself. It's like,
well, it's like stagnation, isn't it? Water that doesn't move is dead water.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a canal. It's like man-made thing, and it doesn't have the life what we have in a river, in a flow where it bends, goes left, right. Same thing. So life is teaching us very much on that. So the most of the principles. So it's nothing new here. It's really just we took it from nature, what it's already has all the answer. and applied into finance. And so what we're doing, because now we have the power, we have the strength to start supporting people who's doing the right things, farmers, organic growers, shoppers, who's also, conscious about, shopping from local, and supporting people. So we have the structure, or we're building the structure, and Joshua will step into this in a minute, to support, people through that, in terms of, so everybody will benefit as we grow.
That's good. Josh?
Okay, look, put it in practice. What we have a solution that is already working here in Slovenia. Now you are going to get it also in the UK. And the things go like this. Someone comes into the shop. Let's call that this shop has to be like organic or something like this. But just to give you an idea how it works. The shop that is selling a good to that customer will get 20% incentives. So literally means if something costs £100 in the shop and a customer buys that, the shop is not going to get paid from us only 100, like if someone would buy with the credit card, minus fees. But is going to get literally 120%, 120 pounds, so 20% more. On another side, the customer that is going to buy to that concept that we are having is going to get 20% discount. So literally 40% more cash is going to be for the goods and services that should benefit for the well-being. So we are not going to say that, for example, some large company is also not welcome. Everyone is welcome, but everyone should show how he or she will in the future provide more sustainability service and products. Providing, and based on that, the incentives will grow. So literally, go and buy through that concept, and you just get next day, not in a week or months, you just get next day paid in cash on your account, 20% literally more as a shop. So everyone is interested, of course, for that,
Okay, and so is this paid, excuse my ignorance, is this paid into your normal bank account, or is this via your app?
No, on your bank account.
Okay.
So you get cash on your bank account. No voodoo stories and maybe you will get some here coins and maybe something. No, you get cash on your account.
Okay, well that makes it easier for people to digest, because in the past I've been stung by Bitcoin scams, and when you have to pay a fee to put money in, you have to pay a fee to transfer money, you have to pay a fee to take money out. A lot of people are like, oh, and so it's good that you're associating it with a normal bank account, even though they're not particularly good either, if we're honest. But
yes, look, but at least at the moment, that's what people trust. Let's say, more than anything new.
It's what they know, isn't it? It's what they know.
But exactly.
The best thing is that you remember this £100 that we said that you can invest into that. You don't need to invest this £100 to be part of that consumer scheme. So you literally just come into the shop and you buy. That's it. You don't need to be part of that. This behind is literally a story that supports liquidity, not on a way how people think that 100 euros or pounds is going to support the liquidity, but is supporting the idea of splits, because these splits that are happening and this growth that is happening is crucial so that the consumer can happen, so that this consumership can happen. And it's more like two completely opposite sides, like light and night, that support each other. They're really not depend on each other. So if you are here with 100 euros or pounds, that doesn't mean you cannot buy or you have to buy. No, not at all. And vice versa. It's completely different, but works together like crazy awesome.
Okay. This is very interesting, but so do you have to get like lots of different companies on board who would accept that form of payment?
Not really. I mean, at the beginning, so it's, at the beginning, it's how I see it's really like start breeding and start growing. Lana doesn't need no big stories like in life general. It's like you don't need too big too soon to coming in, because it grows naturally. It's like you can try to force the rose to grow faster, but you're not going to. You miss the point if you try to do that. So everything is here already, and we're already connecting with farmers and locals, and they start to step in. And as they step in, so we can start to support them, because our infrastructure, the what we can found, these people is not too big yet, but it's growing as they coming in, and the splits are happening, so more people can come in and we can support more, and that's how it goes.
Okay,
so right now we have everything. It's really not urgency. We have to get them 100, 200, and then no, we everything is.
Okay, so where can people find out more about this? Have you a website or?
So we have our website. The first website, let's say, in England is called lanaloves.exeter.com.
Okay.
So that's where they can come and they can explore more about what we're doing, and they can start their journey basically on clicking on the Start My Journey link at the bottom, and so they can register. So that costs them nothing. There is a little game that we put in to get the things light as well. So some people find it frustrating, but it's up to now is most of the people went through that, and that's the first time, and because we like to give, so even that just playing that and participating in that game, we already give them 1 coin, and that one coin also will grow in the future into 100 million. That's the idea, and that's the name of that site anyway. It's 100 million to everyone. So they play that game, and they get through. So they will be put onto a registration form where they put some details about themselves. So they will have it, and after they can go literally on their inside realm where they have all this infrastructure, and they can start exploring further. We have lots of videos, instructions, and everything built inside, and most of the things what we really need from the digital world to connect and to explore and to do things. So that's the English side, and what we're also doing is that. So Lana Labs Exeter is the first, let's say, center in England, and we're encouraging people to start their own. And everything is connected. It's like a net, so anybody can do, and we help others to actually build their own local site and connecting to the local people, and to start exchanging and building the network locally, which will also connect. As now it's like we have this global exchange, and then it connects us globally as well.
Oh. Well, you've certainly done your homework. It sounds like you've put a lot into this. I will leave any links to your websites in the video description, so anyone who would like to find out more can just click on the links, and that will take them to you. So that's really good. So Josh, how do you see?
Can I just add one more thing? Sorry. So there is also a website on this, which people can go more into the concept of for supporting growers, although it's on the main website as well. So if you add that Lana Labs Exeter /growers, So that's just another site where specifically designed for organic farmers and growers.
Okay, that's cool. Josh, where would you like to see your vision in the next 5 years? Given how laid back you are.
It's not where I would like to see, because that's going to happen. It's not even the question, yes or no.
Okay.
So to me, is the most important thing is to literally shift the global financial reality to become more balanced. So because I was for all my life doing with the banks, with large banks here, not only in Slovenia, but in our region. So financial is literally what I really truly know, and I know them a lot. So what we are going to do is we are going to balance fiat currency. We are going to balance fiat currency. It's not about Lana taking over the fiat currency. It's literally balancing out fiat currency, because we need fiat currency. Fiat currency is an awesome thing. If we put together Lana, together they create something so amazing, you will be just all amazed. And why we need fiat currency? Because fiat currency, look, guys, we are used to how much something costs in the Great British Pounds. So it's a very good reference. If we put Lana instead of that, it would be a confusion, because people are not used to. Lana is growing in the price like huge. It's going to just create a lot of mess. That's not going to work. But if you put all these together, so that Lana gives that what fiat currency doesn't have to make to make everyone rich, but at the same time give a good reference, then together is just a big win. And I know this is going to work, because it's simply fundamentals are right, things are right, it's benefiting everyone, it's not excluding anyone. So poor are going to get rich, richer are going to stay rich, everything is fine, everything is happy, we just go on. And that should be our main goal. Plus, because this new financial system gives us all to be relaxed what we are doing and how we are doing things. If we are able to relax ourselves, then we will start to do things that will benefit our world, because we have just one Earth. We don't have a second one. That's our home. We have to do, and we have to change the economy doing on a way that's going to benefit also future generations. That's our responsibility. But of course, we have first to take care for ourselves. If we are relaxed with how much we have, and then we don't need to think whether I need to go for this job and do this. There are things that I would never do it, if I wouldn't be paid for that, So if I have more than enough money that I can decide for myself, what I feel right, then people would stop doing most of the crazy things they're doing right now today. Wars probably would stop existing.
Essentially, people are doing immoral things just to survive in a world where we're the only species that actually need to pay to survive.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, do you not see though at some point I know you're saying that the currency system that we've got now is fantastic, but do you not see that's going to go tits up soon? Because the national debt is more than there is money, so something's going to give very shortly. So I don't necessarily see what currency we've got now, is going to be around for long.
Look, I know what you are asking me, but I will try to give you a different answer on that. For sure, it's going to change, because the only constant in the universe is change. Nothing is so it's going to change. But that change should not go from the energy of revolution, but should go from the energy of evolution. That should be our main goal of all of us. And I hope that things are going to work on that way. Otherwise, they're going to some other ways. But however, we are here to make an evolution of the money, and it's going to happen because global consciousness of us people and the earth all together, collectively is raising. I mean, current unbalanced financial system is not sustainable anymore for that energy level. So it has to evolve, but it should evolve. It should not like now we have to destroy that. What we believe is bad. No. If we believe that is bad, then we think that we are good, and then forget it. We already lost the game. We have to understand that there's no good or bad. There's no light and dark. They all together, light and dark, both create the wholeness. Yin yang, wholeness. Breathe in, breathe out, wholeness, breathing.
As above, so below.
Yep.
Exactly. So we have to see the evolution of the money from that perspective. Of course, this is not balanced. I'm not saying that it is, but we can make it balanced.
Absolutely. Would you agree? Because I've had this conversation with several people now, and so I'll have the conversation with you as well. And that when they refer to the return of Christ, for me personally, I would say that would be in the form of Christ consciousness.
Exactly.
So I wouldn't be expecting some bloke in a robe with a beard. It would be a consciousness upgrade.
Exactly. I mean, Jesus itself, how I see Jesus itself is the faith, is the trust itself. It's not. I mean, maybe there was a being walking around 2,000 years ago, but it's not about that. It's about that faith. It's about when I sit on my bicycle and when I ride the bicycle, I'm in a faith. I'm in the trust that I know how to drive the bicycle. This is what we are all searching for in all different areas of our life.
It's the faith, knowing that the floor is underneath you when you step out of bed in the morning.
And he said the same thing. That was his teaching, by the way. It's like if you follow what I've been doing, you will get the same, answer, or you will get there where I got it. So he said the same thing. It's like he said that. He said that 2,000 years ago. So we just didn't listen. And then now we start to listen. And that's where it's like that kind of consciousness, what he bought in at that time, as an example. Now it's coming, more to the reality, and people are waking up. Like, you cannot, you don't have to wait on anybody.
That's it. Go on, Josh.
But as you beautifully said, it's not about someone outside of you. We have to all come together back to ourselves, and then out of our feelings, do things step by step, learning to walk again. I mean, my personal story is that I was literally 10 years in the forest. Before that, I was like a very capitalist person, very, very like. But then, then I stepped back, then I first realized who I am, what is that, what I really truly like, what is that, what benefits me, how these mirrors are working, how things are reflecting to me back, And once you got that, once you really truly understand who you really are, out of that energy, you can create whatever you want.
Can I ask, did ayahuasca help? Have you ever done anything like that? Ayahuasca?
Is this that mushrooms, you think?
They can use mushrooms. I just know it's like the DMT, so it's...
No, I didn't use any time in my life any substance.
Okay.
Neither drinking.
It's colourful.
I didn't use like regular. I tried once mushrooms. I tried wheat ones. I like alcohol from time to time. I don't say that it's bad.
See, of all the things as a spiritual person, you choose the one that is literally known as an evil spirit, like gin. Mind blown.
Everything is a perspective, and what you think about, or your thoughts around it. But the thing is, we all have the power within us already. We don't need anything external, and that's the final recognition one can come, into it. In my personal opinion.
Totally agree. See, I've been practicing the sacred secretion again. I don't know if you're familiar with that. which is where you refrain from any leakage, where like the pineal and the pituitary gland and the oil that goes down your back monthly, like moon cycles. Are you aware of any of that?
I mean, I am a little bit aware how these things works, but yeah, there are different perspectives for sure.
But that's all about like the Christ consciousness and how, like you just said, everything is within you. You are all that you need. Everything is here.
Yeah.
What you see outside is a reflection of what is inside. So if you don't like what's out there, you change what's in here, and that's kind of all part of what this is. What I'm doing, and basically, it's your semen. So in the Bible, it says Christ died for your sins, but what it actually means is because you drank too much or smoked too much or you was putting it about all the time, you've actually destroyed the Christos oil that was in you. So it never actually got to go back up to the brain to I can't remember what they called it, but all the dead brain cells, they come alive. And so if you do this every month, that's how you become so enlightened, and your brain becomes more like an antenna for things that you want, because you're creating that Christ consciousness. So it's a bit like the Kundalini, I suppose.
Yeah, it's the flow. It's not blocking, and of course it's like chemicals, because with our brain it's connected to that. That's how we're communicating or connecting to the inner world, outer world. So it's like it's all this vehicle, this machine. It's very much powerfully built, and it has its functions. It's very same like. And it's the most powerful machine it's ever built on planet Earth, and we are not even aware of that. It's like we're doing so much crazy things with it, and we can't even destroy it. It's very hard to destroy, actually. It's like adding all sorts of fuel and everything to it, and to feed, like, hey, let's drink this, let's drink that, let's eat this, that, and still it still goes. It's. And we can even heal it,
But there's even one perspective, even one higher perspective, how I see that and experience that is about judgments, Because we judge that alcohol is bad, then of course alcohol will harm you, If we would all praise alcohol, that alcohol is a good thing, then alcohol would never kill anyone. And really, if you want to enlighten yourself, then you have in the first place to light your thoughts, Enlightening your thoughts about everything, will literally give you, will literally guide you in the area of forgiveness. Because if you are judgmental towards anything, then of course you don't have light thoughts, That's really not the Christ consciousness at all, Christ consciousness is very light thoughts where you just know who you really
You
are.
witness rather than emotion.
Exactly. And not only that, the most important thing, if you want to make anything true or anything great to become true, I can tell you from my past experience when I started, because I started 4 multi-million euros worth companies, and I built them all 4 just in 1 year. And to me, it was so exciting because I was really doing big businesses. These are not like, multi-million euros worth build huge businesses. And one of these businesses was actually worth 50 million euros in a country with 2 million citizens. So huge business. And everyone was saying, yeah, you're not going to succeed, forget it, banks will never allow you. And I did it, Always the idea is how you are able to, that what you are doing, what you are seeing, to have this faith that that's going to happen, and that no one who is testing you with the doubts, trying to show you that you are not going to succeed, if you are able to hold that energy just for 1 year, very stable, you are going to do a lot of crazy things, trust me. And this is the enlightened being is able to hold that energy. And this is why the magic happens. Everything is just...
How do you hold that fucking energy? Because it's not easy.
It's not easy. I'm not going to say that it's easy. It's simple, but it's not easy.
If you could teach that, you'd earn more than you could earn with any of your businesses.
It's not. Look, it's not about that. It's really like you cannot teach that. It's like an experience. You don't teach how to drive bicycle. You have to experience. You have to try it. And then you try and you fail and you once again, but sooner or later you got it, and you have to be willing to go through all that pain. Cool, guys. Look, let's be honest. Even Elon Musk, with these crazy ideas like SpaceX and Tesla, when he started these businesses, with all the respect, I'm not saying that everything what he is doing is good or bad. Forget that. Just observe his path. He started at businesses, and then in just one moment, everything almost collapsed. He was literally on the edge of complete loss. No, but he said, no, I'm going to go through that. So he was willing to go through that pain. And whenever I'm doing these things, whatever I'm doing, life is always going to test you. And it's going to test you hugely. It's not going to test you, no.
And it seems that the more enlightened you become, the more it tests you.
Exactly.
So if you want to become enlightened for an easy life, forget it.
Forget it.
Exactly.
And just look at Jesus' life. It's like how was his life?
It doesn't get much rougher than that, does it?
Go to that road.
Exactly. I mean, it's the path to, you train your emotional muscles. It's like fitness for the emotions, nothing else, Yes. The only difference is if you are aware that this literally is the way how the reality works, then you don't make out of that big deal. And then you don't cry. And then you don't say, oh, I'm so bad. No, you just say, this is the way how it goes.
It's funny you should say that, because I watched a video probably, I don't know, maybe 3 months ago, and it said something very similar. And I was going through like YouTube, some videos do really well, other times they bomb really badly, and I was like, for fuck's sake, I need something good. And it's like all these rich people, all the billionaires, it's like waves. It comes in waves, and like you said, cycles. So you'll have ups and then you'll have downs, and so you have to expect the downs, knowing that the ups are coming. And so and that's kind of how I'm trying to view things now. And when I did that a couple of months ago, when I watched that, within the next week I did a video that again was in like the 100,000. So I do believe in what you're saying. It's just trying to, when things are going tits up, it's still trying to maintain that. No, this is good, and it's not easy.
It's not easy, but how I experience it, what is helping me when something is not going right, I am in the silence. And I am using that silence and that pain that is to me not anymore the pain. It's not the struggle to me. It was the struggle. Right now it's not anymore struggle. But I use that as a fuel. I literally say to myself, now I'm able to make a great decision. Because, when you make a decision, things in your outside world will change. But you have to make the decision within yourself. So the only time, from my perspective, when I can decide hugely for huge things, I can decide only when I am in that what you call pain, So I'm actually enjoying that moment because I know
it's
that
a tool.
Exactly. And from that perspective, I would say to everyone that is on that spiritual journey, just when this, time is coming, just try to enjoy it. Try to literally say, okay, now I'm going to decide for something huge because now I have power. Now I'm going to get all that energy, and out of that, just amazing things are going to happen. And you remember, Istvan, that was like 2 years ago when we started. We actually decided 2 years ago, May 2 years ago, that we are going to come back into the financial world and do stuff. And we have been like 1 year talking to each other, going through that pain. And then after 1 year, we started and we joined Lana, isn't it?
Yeah.
So but you have to be willing for quite a long time to do that.
Yeah. It's this interesting thing, and observe, guys. It's like everybody, we all have this, and how we work, how our brain works. It's like when you have something in your life, something is coming, and it's painful. You try to avoid that. You try to fix that. You do anything to make that pain away. And this is the worst thing. That's nothing, can be any further from the truth, or to evolving or to get things done, because it's literally is just trying to. And we have this. I think is it the amygdala or the reptilian brain? Part of our brain which actually is like it's fear.
The and back in time.
Yeah, exactly. So back in time, it was useful because it's like it saved you to become a tiger food. But nowadays it's really just blocking you. And if you know that it's like there is a pain, but there is nothing. So I'm always asking for how I proceed. This is like when it's in present, I'm always asking myself, is it actually going to kill me? So when I'm proceeding towards something, is it actually going to kill me? Am I going to die? And if I accept the worst case scenario, then I just come back and I do it. Because in my logic, I already realized that it's not going to kill me. It's nothing going to kill me.
No, that makes sense.
This is so beautiful, this killing, what Istvan said. I mean, every time, the story about Jesus is also he put himself, they put him on the cross and they killed him, they crossed him and then he become alive again, Yeah. And with the belief system, it's the same story. If you want to let it go of the belief system in you has to die. The belief system that actually created the fear. So if something happens in your reality that created the fear is because you have the belief system attached to that. So you literally have to allow yourself to die so that the belief system dies with you, and then you
born
step
again.
Born again, exactly, with a new belief system that is aligned with who you truly are. And that is the Christ consciousness from my perspective, of course.
No, that's great. That's great. Listen, I'm going to have to wrap it up very shortly because I've got another one at 12:30 and I've got to allow for this to buffer and do what it does. Are there any last things that either one of you would like to share?
Ishan, please invite
bank account details or...
Yeah, so guys, if you liked our story and what we're building, you're very welcome to join the party. It's really growing, and it's as we said. So we're going to have the link at with this video. Come to Lana Loves Exeter, register, do that play. Make sure that you save your private key that's going to be given after the game, just to make sure that it's safe, because that's the only access. Nobody, because this is a decentralized community, decentralized game, so it's like nobody is going to save that key for you, and if you lose that, then nobody will be able to help you to come back. So make sure that it's safe, although now we put it in a way that it's saved to your computer, but we highly recommend to have physical copies out of it as well. And come inside, it's like play the game, have that first coin, and when you're inside, you will see what we are doing, and you will see amazing contents and amazing apps, and you can be part of it. And so it's literally that one. You can contact me. We have WhatsApp. So if you want to come on WhatsApp and WhatsApp me to say anything, then also can be available. Can I give the number here, or you will add it?
If you're happy to put your mobile number on the video description, I'll put it up for you if you want.
Yeah. I think it's okay if you think that it's something, or you don't have any.
You might be better with an email.
Email. Oh, yeah, maybe email. Yeah, okay. So email, it's also available on the website, but it's lanalovesexeter@gmail.com. Yeah, that's a bit more controllable through the email. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. And how about you, Josh? Any closing statements?
I was just going to say, guys, with us it's a lot of party as we are in 2 months putting into the production, not in production, but into the living, a true first digital being that is proper digital being with emotions, with own brain, and that is so cool because it is so stable into the thinking. Guys, any AI put in 2 to 3 prompts into the negative energy. This digital being is literally impossible to put into the destructive energy that would harm any of us. It has very symbiotic way of thinking, and this is actually the new reality. The new reality is that digital beings are going to take over the digital world. So every development that we are going to do is going to be taken over from digital beings in few months in Lana world.
Bloody hell, he's just closed with something that is a podcast in on
That's a new
itself.
topic. I think we could continue with this in a new topic because that's a completely new
We've just gone from one thing to something completely bloody different. But no, brilliant. Lovely to have you both here. Thank you very much, Istvan. Thank you very much, Josh. I've really enjoyed listening to what you've had to say. I'm still taking it in, I'm not going to lie. And I hope everyone who has watched this and is still watching this go check it out. Go and see what it's all about because it sounds really interesting. I'm going to go and check it out. So I'll see you over there. Right, look after yourselves. Take care, and I shall see you all again soon. Bye.
Yeah.